pretty hot down there?" And John would muster a faint smile and answer, "It certainly is." His response would have been heartier had they not all made this joke, at best varying with it. "Is it hot enough for you down there?" which he hated just as much. In the middle of his second school year, a quiet, handsome boy named Percy Washington had been put in John's form. The newcomer was pleasant in his manner and exceedingly well dressed, even for St. Midas's. But for some reason, he kept aloof from the other boys. The only person with whom he was intimate was John T. Unger. But even to John he was entirely uncommunicative concerning his home or his family. That he was wealthy went without saying, but beyond a few such deductions, John knew little of his friend. So it promised rich confectionery for his curiosity when Percy invited him to spend the summer at his home in the West. He accepted without hesitation. It was only when they were in the train that Percy became, for the first time, rather communicative. One day while they were eating lunch in the dining car and discussing the imperfect characters of several of the boys at school, Percy suddenly changed his tone and made an abrupt remark. "My father," he said, "is by far the richest man in the world." "Oh," said John politely. He could think of no answer to make to this confidence. He considered, "That's very nice," but it sounded hollow, and was on the point of saying "really," but refrained, since it would seem to question Percy's statement. And such an astounding statement could scarcely be questioned. "By far the richest," repeated Percy. "I was reading in the World Almanac," began John, "that there was one man in America with an income of over $5 million a year, and 4 men with incomes of over $3 million a year, and—" "Oh, they're nothing." Percy's mouth was a half-moon of scorn. "Catch-penny capitalists, financial small fry, petty merchants and moneylenders. My father could buy them out and not know he'd done it." "But how does he—" "Why, haven't they put down his income tax? Because he doesn't pay any. At least he pays a little, but he doesn't pay any on his real income." "He must be very rich," said John simply. "I'm glad. I like very rich people. The richer a feller is, the better I like 'em." There was a look of passionate frankness upon his dark face. "I visited the Schnitzers last Easter. Vivian Schnitzer Murphy has rubies as big as hen's eggs, and sapphires that were like globes with lights inside them." "I love jewels," agreed Percy enthusiastically. "Of course, I wouldn't want anyone at school to know about it, but I've got quite a collection myself. I used to collect them instead of stamps." "And diamonds," continued John eagerly. "The Schnitzer Murphys had diamonds as big as walnuts. That's nothing." Percy had leaned forward and dropped his voice to a low whisper. "That's nothing at all. My father has a diamond bigger than the Ritz-Carlton Hotel."
2.
The Montana sunset lay between 2 mountains like a gigantic bruise, from which dark arteries spread themselves over a poisoned sky. An immense distance under the sky crouched the village of Fish, minute, dismal, and forgotten. There were 12 men, so it was said, in the village of Fish. 12 somber and inexplicable souls who sucked the lean milk from the almost literally bare rock upon which a mysterious populatory force had begotten them. They had become a race apart, these 12 men of Fish, like some species developed by an early whim of nature, which on second thought had abandoned them to struggle and extermination. Out of the blue-black bruise in the distance crept a long line of moving lights upon the desolation of the land, and the 12 men of Fish gathered like ghosts at the shanty depot to watch the passing of the 7 o'clock train, the Transcontinental Express from Chicago. 6 times or so a year, the Transcontinental